Mike's live. What's up, everybody? It is Bigjohn, Big Tony Allen, and Don Wolfe Montgomery.
We're here
at the Appalachia Connection Podcast down at the famous Farmhouse Diner.
Some of us are live, some half dead.
Half dead. I'm barely kicking it feels like anymore.
I don't feel
Let
good.
us know how the sound is. It should sound okay.
I'm using my usual weaker than puppy pee, you know.
Me too. Tony's really, he's taking on a whole lot.
Yeah.
He's officially an Amazon delivery hub guy, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Officially Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon means no rabbit hunting.
No rabbit hunting.
And it's
Cut into
really
his
messing with my mojo.
cut into his
I can imagine.
leisure time.
I've been so depressed. Guys, share this out. Get it out here. We're going to spend an hour with you tonight, having a good time. We try to keep it non-political and as light as possible. We don't do anything controversial if we can keep from it. Of course, in the world we live today, everything's controversial.
Everything.
It's hard not to be.
But we
Shout
try our
out.
best to keep it non-political, lighthearted, and fun. We talk about things that are local to the area, Appalachia things. The more you share this out, the more it helps us. We'll keep on here and keep doing it. Tonight, we're going to have sorghum, local Kentucky sorghum, over top of biscuits. So we got some homemade biscuits, and we're also going to be giving away a quart of sorghum. Thanks to our friends over at Creekside Stitching and More, we're going to give away a free quart of sorghum. So
Great
stay
people
tuned.
over there.
We'll do that before the show's over.
We got some facts about Liberty, Kentucky, too, where this sorghum, this is real Kentucky, not a blend. Sorghum Oberholzers, probably butchering that. Sorghum is from Sorghum Mill, 79 Sloan Fork Road, Liberty, Kentucky.
Sounds Amish, I would assume. Just an assumption.
Say you're right.
Instructions to liquefy, put in warm water.
Oh, there you go. To liquefy,
There
put
you
it in
go.
Liquefy, put it in warm
You can drink
water.
it, with your favorite beverage.
We're going to cheat and put it in the microwave.
Of course, we also got knee-high
The
grape
farmhouse
soda.
has got knee-high
Knee-high.
products.
Oh, yeah, we got knee-high grape, we got RC colon, we got knee-high peach, and we got them in the glass bottles with the twist-off lid. The only thing I recommend is pull your shirt sleeve over your hand when you twist the cap off. It'll keep you from hurting your hand.
Yeah.
Royal Crown Cola.
And all you need is a moon pie, and you're like it's heaven here on Easter.
Got a lot going on for you guys tonight. First and foremost, we want to send our prayers and best wishes to the folks down south that were so negatively affected with the hurricane. We're praying for those folks. We're mountain people just like they are, and Appalachian people, and wishing them the best. And we Appalachian people throughout the years have had to endure seem like never-ending tragedies and never-ending weather events. It's over and over, but we want to send them our regards and their best down there.
Water ain't got much place to go here in these mountains, and down there in that part of the country, it's really steep mountains, and we give a shout out to our Lord Jesus Christ today. Amen. He'll take care of it one way or the other.
I thought Jay Howard was going to come on here. I never did tell him day to be on here.
No,
so
we
that's
got-
my bad, Jay.
we'll
So
get
we got
you on,
Track
Jay.
Outdoors, our sponsors, Granny Made Cheesecake, the Farmhouse Diner, Jessica D. Williams, Sloan Chiropractic, the Parkway Peddlers Mall, Creekside Stitching, and more, and Appalachian TCG down here at the farmhouse.
That's another thing we'll shout out. John's got a new endeavor. You know, he's like me. Of course, we both work full-time jobs and our other stuff too. He's going. He's got a little card business. So for you folks out there that are watching, I know rook cards are hard to come by these days. We have rook cards here at the Farmhouse Diner. They're what, $6 a pack?
Yep.
They're
For now.
They're $6 a pack. That's as cheap
Act
as
fast.
you'll find them anywhere. Got a limited supply because they're really hard to
They
get.
are hard to get.
You go to Walmart right now, you can't find a rook card nowhere, but we
Uno
do.
cards coming. We got special Uno cards coming.
Uno cards, we've got playing cards coming. Then of course we've got the other stuff that John plays, all kinds of cards. But
Getting
we
that
want
time of
those
year,
cards.
play games.
We got basketball cards, football cards, baseball cards for you collectors out there.
Wait a minute. Here you say you're going forward again.
But yeah, we're going live tonight, and we're going to have some homemade biscuits with sorghum over top of them. That's our plan tonight. So we got the sorghum. We got I had made a pan of biscuits, and we're going to have homemade biscuits. Don, you tell us.
I am not a sorghum fan. I'm a molasses fan, and it's different. I was raised on molasses now, just the way it is. Jack Reisner every fall of the year, and Kenny Montgomery had a cane mill, they called it. It's a sugar cane, and they turned it into molasses, and it was a big time. It was a community thing. Everybody had a ball, and I remember as a kid, all the way up to when I was a grown person, they had it every year, and it wasn't sorghum, it was molasses. Molasses is darker. I think they're better and sweeter. Molasses come from sugar cane, and sorghum, I think, is a plant. It's different. Look how light it is. I mean, molasses is darker than that. And I think molasses are sweeter. I'm just a molasses fan. What can I say?
But you can't go by that because honey comes from bees, and that looks the same as honey to me.
It does kind of look
Well,
like honey.
we're talking about molasses and sorghum.
I know, but I'm just saying, like coming from a plant, honey comes from bees, and that looks like honey.
Yeah, it looks like darker honey. Yeah, that's not what I. If you said to people around here, older people,
If this was
they'd
starting
say, what is that? They'd say it's honey. Now, if you had if it was a can of molasses, a jar, they would say that's molasses.
molasses.
But with all that being said, in the famous words of the late Chub Allen, I don't care what it looks like, I care what it tastes like.
There you go.
So we will be.
See, we should have had some molasses so we could have
So we had
a
the
taste test.
Sorghum Festival in West Liberty, which is next door neighbors to us.
Well, it was last weekend, but I think it got pretty much devastated by the weather because we had all the rain come in from the
Last
hurricane.
weekend was bad.
It was
It
bad.
was bad for my current work. It's been bad for everything.
A lot of electricity out. Still, people got electricity out.
Is people still without
I think there are a
electricity?
few customers. I know some folks here in Sayersville were out several days, I think, if I understand
It
right.
has,
I mean,
it has been a 2 weeks for sure.
But I was at the Sorghum Festival one time, and it was late, and I went down there to get me some molasses. I never even thought about it. I thought they're the same, And I go down through there, and here's this guy. He's making it, and I said, I want to buy some molasses, and he real rudely he said, there ain't no molasses here. This is sorghum. And I said, well, excuse me, I didn't know there's a difference. And he explained it to me, something like I just explained it to you, but he is a lot ruder than I was.
Yeah.
And he said, you want some sorghum? I said, no, I want molasses. And he said, well, you'll have to go somewhere else. So there you go.
I think I fixed the weird sound going on.
we have a weird sound going on.
Yeah, we had a weird sound going on. I think I fixed it.
You fixed the weird sound?
Yeah, I think we're good. Sorghum, molasses, honey, I like it. Oh, Cousin Kirk McDaniel. Wait, Cousin Kirk McDaniel, when are you going to come on the podcast?
Yeah, we need to get Kurt on here.
I'd love to have Cousin Kurt on here.
Yeah, he'd be good. We called him Crazy Legs back in the day.
Oh, yeah, he's a dancing machine back in the day. Yeah, he's just all over the place, He'd be going this way to the beat and then bam, he'd turn left-handed.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
I wish
unbelievable.
we'd filmed it. But
Big Darrell from D&D Sports requested to be on here too, so that's kind of a big name around here.
Listen, we'll let anybody. Now we ain't selfish. We'll let anybody come on. We don't.
That'll be good. We'll have another sports-like podcast.
We'll let anybody come on. We don't care.
Have you heard from the Appalachian Forager?
No.
Reach out to her.
She hasn't contacted Amanda?
I don't know. I forgot to ask.
What's that?
I forgot to ask. Appalachian. Who is
Appalachian, the forager woman that gets all the mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, the root woman
the
from
root
West
woman.
Virginia.
No, I don't know.
Roots and herbs.
I ain't for sure.
But if you guys could like and share this out, coffee, yeah.
I do,
right?
yes, coffee. Yeah. Please.
Oh shoot, she wants a list of dates. Yeah, that's just Wednesday or Thursday bi-weekly, whichever one
Who's
works
the
for her.
forager lady?
The Appalachian Forager on TikTok.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I forgot.
Remember?
No.
You forgot that? You brought it up. That's all right.
But yeah, that sounds good. We get her on here. You know, I remember back, I don't think it's so much prevalent now, but when I was a kid, of course, the stock sale was open, and every ginseng season, son, everybody up and down Craft Creek and all over the county was out digging ginseng.
Yeah.
And at that time, a dry pound was like $365. Well, if you could dig enough ginseng to get $365, you was loaded. You know?
Oh yeah.
And I think now, the last time I heard somebody say, it's over $1,000 for a dry pound. So that's ginseng. Don, you ever dug any ginseng?
No, I never did. Something I never did do.
I read up on some one time. So ginseng in the fall has a red berry. That's the easiest way to find it. You can find it in the fall with a red berry. And I read up on some one
Thank
time
you very
and
much.
got it. But I never knew where it was or never did really dig it.
There was 3 moles digging around a yard. The first mole says, "What's that? Smells like a biscuit." The second mole says, "No, I smell apple pie." The third mole says, "I don't know what you fellas are smelling, but I smell is molasses."
Molasses. Let me speak some more about molasses.
I think she means molasses.
They're more into this molasses than you think.
Yeah.
It's kind of like moonshine. There's 3 different runs of molasses when you're making it in a cane mill. First run, second run, and then the third run's got a odd name, but I can't think of it.
Yeah.
If anybody knows what the third run of molasses is called, give us a holler out.
I don't remember the last time I've had sorghum or molasses.
I like molasses and cornbread and
That
butter,
does sound awesome.
you know.
Molasses, cornbread, and butter.
But we're going to do biscuits.
That does sound good.
So I've
Well,
never-
you know, any form of bread is good. John, what you got for us tonight? You got any words, anything going
I
on?
got all kinds of crazy words. We got some facts about stuff. Sorghum, maybe.
All right.
How's it made, Don? Do you know off the top of your head? Can you break it down for us?
Well,
Do
it's
you kind of know?
yeah. They you strip the cane. You know, if you're going to sorghum, it's about the same thing. You go out in the field, you cut the cane down, you strip the leaves off, and then you run it through a squeezer machine, and it goes round and around, and somebody feeds these cane stalks into this squeezer, and usually a mule or, you know, a big person got this big long pole, you know, and they keep walking around the whole time.
Yeah.
People feed this, you
And
know.
what you're doing, you're basically they
And,
do it. I'll tell you where they do it at, Don. Steel. I just thought of this. I've seen them do it
at the
Steel
church.
today. They do it at the church over there on
at the-
30.
Yeah.
Huh.
Lakefront Church, where
Yep.
the Middle Fork School used to be.
Lakefront Church over on 30.
And they got a big long trough.
Yeah.
The squeezing comes out as liquid. They take it and they boil it, and they start boiling it here in this trough, and they stir it with a big wooden thing, and then it goes on in a process, and you have to keep the foam off of it. It's a big deal. It takes a long time.
So does this sound right? I'll read off how the process is made. First, you got to grow the cane.
Yeah.
2 is harvesting. The cane is harvested in the fall, usually by hand.
Yeah.
When the plant is fully matured, the leaves are stripped and the stalks are cut close to the ground. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
3, pressing the juice. The cane is fed into a press.
Yep. That's what he's talking about with the
Okay.
mule.
Boiling. The juice is then boiled down in large pans over an open
Yep.
fire.
Yep.
And then bottling. So that's 5 steps.
Yeah. See what Don's saying is when you harvest the cane, you feed the cane through a press that squeezes the juice out of the cane, and the press has to constantly turn, John. So you have a
Yeah.
mule or, like Don said, a stout person, whatever, pulling that press around the whole time, around in a circle. Now the old way was to do a mule, and they still, I think, use a mule over at Lakefront Church. So for anybody out there that wants to
And then
watch,
you can strip this cane. You can strip the bark off of it. I'm going to call it bark. The outside, John.
Yeah.
And it's got a white circle in it about this big as your finger, you know. That's actually the stuff.
Yeah.
It's got a consistency, something like, I don't know, but you can eat that, chew on that. And it's really sweet before they do anything. And then you chew it up until all the sugar sweetness gone, you spit it out.
For any of you interested, the Lakefront Church has what's called their Fall Fest one time a year. Normally, if they still do it, and you can go over and actually watch the process and watch them. They have a mule that works the press, and watch them boil it down and run it through the trough and make molasses. So it's pretty
almost
cool.
like chewing a fiber, just like a.
I remember going to the Sorghum Festival and eating off of a piece of cane.
Yeah, that's the molasses. You dip
So
the
that's
cane.
molasses.
You dip the cane stalk in it, or sorghum, either one. You dip the cane stalk in it, and
I don't remember. I remember it being like warm, and it was good though.
Yeah.
It's hot.
it's hot
boil it.
because you're boiling it down when you bring it out.
That's probably been when I was in grade school, so it's probably the last time I've had it.
When I was a kid, you used to be able to go over to Kenny Montgomery's on Lower Middle Fork and, on Far Middle Fork, off the edge of Lower Middle Fork, and you could watch them. They'd actually let you watch them do it when they processed
Oh
it.
yeah, big get together,
Now, Don goes back farther than me. He goes back to, did you say Jack Reisner, the mailman?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
When I was a kid, it was Kenny Montgomery, but so I'd say you knew them both good, remember?
Oh yeah.
In the same area. So the only place that I really can think of, maybe Don can correct me, that they actually did it around here was Far Middle Fork. Was there anywhere else it was going on?
It probably was in the county, but I didn't know about it, at the time.
Yeah.
But Larry Patrick Church, they still do it.
Yeah. It's a neat process. So if you ain't ever watched it, it's honestly neat. It really is. And John, you got some words for us tonight?
You want to do words or what's good to eat with sorghum?
Let's do what's good to eat with sorghum.
What's good to eat, Don?
Well, I like it with cornbread, and butter.
Cornbread.
You have to mix it with butter. Just get you a big spoonful of butter and pour you some in a plate and just mix it all up till it looks kind of like this cream coffee, and then you just put it on your cornbread or just sop that cornbread right in it,
What's the best meal you've ever had from sorghum? You remember, like the best, like
I ate it
that's
like,
the reason you go back and you eat.
I've always ate it like a dessert after my meal.
Yeah.
And that's the way I do it. I pour some in the plate, give me a thing of butter, gobble butter, mix it up, sop it with my cornbread and milk. That's the way I eat it.
I'm a little different.
I didn't eat it with anything.
I cannot mix cornbread and sweetening for some reason. The cornbread to me is more of a staple with gravy or beans. Now, biscuits.
Okay, guys, let's see how many eats it with cornbread or biscuit.
For jelly or for honey butter or for sorghum butter, whatever, biscuits is my flavor. I'm not a cornbread man.
That's the only thing I like with cornbread, Tony, by the
You
way.
guys like polls? Let's try to put a poll up there. Let me switch over to the farmhouse here.
Put a poll, see who eats it with cornbread and who eats it with biscuits.
All right, let's see.
I don't know. I can't mix cornbread.
I've never ate it with biscuit, so this will be a first for me.
I can't mix cornbread and sweeten it. It'd be like eating. Well, my good friend and pal Ronnie Stump Montgomery eats jelly with his soup beans and cornbread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody's different. Yes, Patty, you are correct. They use molasses to make gingerbread. Now, my mama was a great gingerbread maker. She's gone now, but her daughter, my Aunt Toot, makes the best gingerbread I've ever eaten. I wouldn't ever say that if Mama was still here, but I mean, it's a fact. She made me 2 or 3 batches, and I can't keep it. It's gone. She makes it good. Or whatever, biscuits is mine.
That's not what I wanted to do.
It is good. Gingerbread, there's all kinds of things. I think you can ginger cookies. You can make all kinds of stuff with molasses. It's really good. Guys, we've been. Don mentioned to talk about what we've been doing since we've not been podcasting. I know we did it once a week before. We're going to do it once every other week or maybe once a month, depending on our viewership and how popular it is. Me, I've been working. John's been working. Don, what you been doing?
Well, I got to fish some this year again. Hadn't catfished in about 8 years, and had the opportunity also to be with my granddaughter Marley and catch her first big catfish.
Oh.
But man, it was so hot this summer, but I enjoyed getting back to fishing, and I've completed my cardio rehab sessions, 36 of those. I feel a lot better over at Pressburg. They do a real good job over there at the Pressburg Hospital. The cardio rehab department, give them a shout out. If you got anything wrong with your heart or something like that, get your doctor to send you over there, and he'll sure help you. I'm telling you. Other than that, what else did I say I've been doing?
Whittling a lot.
Whittling? You been whittling?
A lot of whittling, yeah.
I'm whittling a lot.
Yeah, whittle a lot. Play rook.
Oh, yeah. We
Do
got
the
some
music at the farmhouse. That's always good.
Publish a poll.
Don is our conductor of our Friday evening, guys. That's another thing. Tune in Friday evenings down here. We try to do live music, and Don is the conductor of the live music.
Yeah, I want to get me one of them wands, whatever them sticks is.
Yeah. Don, you have to turn that around and figure out how to spell it.
I did.
It's okay if you did. It's all right. It's okay.
I didn't want to spell it wrong.
Well, I mean, it's better safe than sorry type deal.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I spelled it right. I ain't going to lie.
You don't want to have to lick your calf. There's an Appalachian saying.
Yeah, over. Lick your calf over.
Lick your calf over. John, you know what that means?
Lick your calf over?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
John.
I got busted to checking my spelling. What biscuits, cornbread,
Toast.
toast.
Do you know what it means to lick your calf? Over.
Yeah.
I've heard getting egg on your face. I guess that's the
Same concept.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's in that ballpark.
Yeah, it means that you have to if you do something, you do it wrong, you got to go back and redo it.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly a carpenter's term. Like if you if you cut the board wrong or put it in the wrong place, you got to go back and redo it.
Yeah.
Well, it applies to many things.
Oh, yeah.
There should be a poll on your guys' screen, I think. Maybe not. Let's see.
Well, we're struggling with the poll. We have.
Let me ask y'all a question. And while you're doing the poll, I thought about this the other day. I actually dreamed about it. When I was a kid, like, did you ever want anything really, really bad when you was growing up and you weren't able to get it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really important to
Now we're talking about like
anything, material things, anything.
well, like what about women?
No, it's not.
Well, I didn't know. I just
Well, I mean, I guess a girlfriend. You could go with a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
But
yeah.
I was thinking more of material things.
I wanted my wife really bad. She wouldn't fool with me for the longest time.
Well, here's what
I had to call her.
here's the point I was going to finish up. You wanted it so bad and you couldn't get it, and then when you were able to get it, you didn't want it.
It wasn't that big a deal
yeah.
no more.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
That's what happened to me.
Well, I ain't saying that now. I'm not saying that. In my situation.
You're still talking about the wrong thing. I'll give you for instance what I did when I was a kid. I came to town every Saturday. My dad worked as a mechanic downtown, and every Saturday Mom and I would come to town and we'd just hang around town all day. And they had a dime store. It was called weren't Wilson, is Willis 5 and dime. Well, I was probably 8, 9 years old, in that area, and they had a big grater, like big yellow cat grater,
Yeah.
Man, it was that long.
Yeah.
And it was up there on top, and I wanted that so bad, and it was $12. I remember it, and something, and there's no way I could get it, So I started saving money. I promise this is a true story. I started saving money to get this big grater. Well, by the time I had the money, I was like 12 or 13, and I was too old to play with it. And I just said, let it go. I'd even paid them down on it. I laid it away.
And let it go.
Ain't that sad? I mean, yeah. I was too old to play with toys,
Yeah. And I think that speaks to the times that you lived in. Now, there's people out there right now that will tell you times
Ain't that
now
sad? I mean,
are worse than they were back then, but I think you would tell them they're lying, wouldn't you, Don?
yeah, it was easier to get things back then.
They'll tell you, people will tell you, well, now we're living worse now than we was back then. You think that's true?
No.
No,
but I mean, in buying stuff, though, I was more able to buy stuff when I started working when I was a teenager than I am now, or than anybody could. I'll give you an example. I bought 2 vehicles when I was in high school and paid for them both. And one was probably 5 years old, one was only 2 years old. And these top-of-the-line vehicles, and I was working at a hardware store. And I had plenty of money. And, And now I would compare that to maybe a kid working at McDonald's, 15, 16, 18-year-old kid working at, a fast food restaurant. There's no way they could buy a 2-year-old vehicle right now. They couldn't buy a 25-year-old vehicle.
But if they would not buy the $1,000 cell phone, the $1,000 computer,
can't do it.
It'd be close, Don.
No.
Right?
They don't buy that anyway. The parents buys that.
You wasn't going to buy a brand new car working at McDonald's.
The parents buys everything you said right there. The parents buy that anyway.
They could probably buy a car, but not a brand new car.
They couldn't buy a 20-year-old car.
20-year-old car.
No.
It'd take them a while.
That's my only thoughts on it. I don't think it's that everything has changed as much as it's just the stuff has changed. Like teenagers nowadays.
The money, you could buy more and it's cheaper.
You know something that's
simple.
Different? Let me give you a big example. There are all kinds of teenagers nowadays that ain't even interested in getting their driver's license.
I know.
They ain't interested in it.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing for us. I
don't understand that.
Had to go get your driver's license. They don't even want them. They don't want to drive. They don't want to see nobody. They don't want to talk to nobody. I
think it's the computers and the phones.
Hey, man, that's what I'm getting at.
I don't understand wanting to be stranded.
They don't want to get their license. They don't want to drive.
That's true.
I don't understand it either, but it's just a culture.
They don't care. I was driving when I was 10.
I started driving when I was 11 years old, like you. But as far as being legal, even now, these kids that are at the age to legally get their driver's permit or their driver's license, they don't want it.
My good friend Dennis Prater, Dad, ran Markham's Hardware. He hired me when I was 15 years old to drive a ton truck, and I said, Bob, I don't have any license. He said, don't worry about that. Can you drive? I said, yeah. And that's the way I went. That's the way times was, Well,
I think my papa said it best when everybody was talking about he was born in the 20s, grew up in the Great Depression. He said, everybody's all the time talking about the good old days. He said, son, them wasn't the good old days. He said, we're about starting that.
Well, it was better days in the late 60s and early 70s because I could go to Michigan in summertime, and if I didn't want to go to work that evening, you better not put an application in.
Yeah.
They'd hurry. They say you go to work. If you go put an application in that morning, they say come out second shift. And if you didn't like that job, you go across the street and get another one.
But that brings up a good conversation.
That's the way it was.
Like even to here now, I remember back when I was young. It didn't matter. There wasn't no jobs here when I was young. Now, every store, every convenience store, every business, every place you go, hiring now. We are hiring. Apply online.
Yeah.
So that's changed.
Well, there's a little more work here. But it's about to get back the way it used to be, which the only place we had to work was the school system or the state highway.
Yeah.
Back when I was a teenager.
The job market has changed because, like, say, for instance, when I was young, when I was in high school, you couldn't get a job around here. I mean, the jobs that you did when you were in high school around here when I was young was you worked in the hay fields or you worked in Backer, you know. And nowadays, you can get a job anywhere.
Get a job sitting at the house.
Yeah, you could. Boys, listen. There's people right here in this county that is making $20+ an hour.
Lots of people
that never have to leave their house, Don.
Lots of people, Don. Could you imagine working at the house?
I probably wouldn't have done a whole lot.
Up.
I mean, to be honest with you, that wouldn't have been for me.
But it is for some people, and here's the thing about it. You're not out gas, you're not out getting lunch other than your groceries.
It's a good deal.
So it's $30 an hour, you might as well say, and you never have to leave the house. But what is the cost of that? I think that we are losing the ability as human beings to communicate with each other.
I think
and yet we got more communication than ever.
We got more technical communication than ever, but we got less common sense. That's my thoughts on it. One man's thoughts.
Some people just don't know how to talk to people in person anymore.
Not some people, a lot of people.
Yeah.
When you go to a certain age,
you got to talk to people. They won't get out. It's like, no, I can't go to that restaurant.
You got to
speak to somebody.
What's your thoughts on it, John? You're younger than we are. Is there an issue with communication with the younger generation?
There has to be. Like, they're so used to talking online all the time.
In-person communication.
I'm definitely one of those people that I don't care to talk online. But I'm also one of these people that I'd rather have a computer than a cell phone than talk on the phone. I don't know. I'm weird. I like talking in person or on the internet.
Well, my problem is, first off, I can't see without my glasses. I'm struggling right now.
There, you can borrow mine.
And second off, I don't know how to work the computers.
Yeah.
You want to borrow these?
Yeah, let me just for a minute.
most people, they don't even like whenever you call anymore. They'd rather you text.
Oh,
Right,
that kills me.
Yeah.
They'd rather you text than call.
My wife, you know what she'll say? My wife, she just made a comment here. Most people are rolling their hay nowadays because you can't get people to work in the field to bale it to pick it up, you know. But I stay on the phone all the time when I'm not working with my buddies, talking about dogs or Don or you or whoever I'm talking to, and you stay on that phone. I said, it's a phone. It's made to talk on. I said, you stay on yours doing this right here, and I said, I talk on mine. I said, that's the difference.
Yeah, we've got computers now that's got a phone instead of a phone.
You're walking around with a computer in your hand when you got
you got a full
TV,
computer.
you know,
Full
TV.
computer.
But what has happened to the days of everybody going and visiting and getting on the front porch and
over.
sitting around and swatting flies?
That's over. It'll never be back.
You know, and that's something here at the Farmhouse Diner, guys. I want to say this, and I ain't bragging on us because I don't do it. But there's any given time you can come down here and the boys will be outside whittling on a piece of cedar wood or a swapping pocket knife.
Swatting,
And swatting
yellow
at yellow
jackets.
jackets.
God, they're
Yellow
bad.
jackets.
They're bad this year, the drought.
Swatting at yellow jackets, you know.
Paul Montgomery says he eats molasses on bologna.
Ooh.
Probably good.
Well, that's different. That's different.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a fan of that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'll try it.
Oh, there's always, Sandy, honey, there's always some people that have problems. I'm talking about the majority of as a whole over society. Now, I'm not talking about the individuals that have issues. I'm talking about as a whole society has shifted, because I don't know so much that it's actually something you're born with or something that you're learned, because there's not as much communication. Like Don said, when he was a kid on Saturdays, everybody come to town, met up in town, and stayed all day. You don't have that anymore. I mean, like for instance, right now you can order your groceries off the I'm told that Walmart delivers to Sayersville now. Is that true?
Really?
Your groceries. You can get on Walmart and order your groceries and have them delivered to Walmart. I mean, delivered to your house from Walmart's.
Now,
Well, it's just these phones. I mean, you go to the doctor's office, ball games, whatever, and they're on the phone. People is, you know. And
There's a lot of times.
sometimes I am too.
You do your doctoring right on the phone. You just
you got Teladoc?
I've had 3 this week.
you FaceTime with your
Had 3
doctor.
this week.
Well, I'll be honest with you, that's better.
Good.
That's better than sitting in the doctor's or the room waiting 2 hours.
Oh, I agree. I can't stand it.
I fall asleep every time. I went down there to Hope the other day. I ain't gonna say no names.
No, it's HOPE clinic.
Yeah, the Hope Clinic. But I went in there and they made. I was supposed to be there at 2:20. I got there at 2:20. I waited until 4:30 until they put me in a room. I was in there for 2 hours.
That. I cannot do that.
2 hours. I was just like, why in the world schedule at 2:20?
I left them a note. Your time is as valuable as theirs. I mean,
I hate to keep quoting the late great Chub Allen, but he used to say, "If you ain't sick when you get there, you'll blank and sure be sick time you leave."
yeah.
Just I don't know why schedules are at 2:20 though. If you ain't going at least within 30 minutes.
Well, I go to these here, and I, be sitting there for an hour, and I say, "What time's your appointment?" And 10 people is the same time as mine.
Yeah.
So they schedule everybody like at 1 o'clock, and then sort them out.
And then to bring up the other side of it, now, for us people that are older, we know this, and everybody knows this. You have a real problem nowadays with the young people and the bullying issue.
Yeah.
Well, there's always been bullies.
Always.
But back in the day, when a bully said something to you and you finally got tired of it, you bust them in the mouth. Well, nowadays, it's online. You can't get a hold of them. You know, they can say whatever they want to you, and they may be 10 miles away, and you can't get a hold of them, and it drives people insane if you keep bullying somebody, and they can't never get it out of their system and knock your brains out. It drives them nuts.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it, but
Well, it's a bad deal.
Socialization has to be way down in 2024. Way down. And I think that's why I like card games so much, is because it's still a social event. You know, if it's getting playing rook, if it's playing poker,
Right.
playing the games I play, checkers, chess. I can play some of these games. You can play every one of these games online, but it's so much more fun to play with your friends in person.
Well,
I don't know why people just want to play online.
The old saying is, everybody needs somebody sometime.
Yeah.
You got to have
Everybody hurts sometimes.
social interaction. People need social interaction, and as a society as a whole, I'm afraid that we're trending away from it. And when you don't, it's just like if you're a basketball player and you don't ever practice, you ain't gonna be much of a basketball player.
That's like video games. Like we used to have to get together, stay at each other's house
to play video games
together. Like even if it was Halo, we had it all linked across the house. We all had to be there.
Yeah.
Even LAN parties, they had to bring your computer and you had to be together.
LAN parties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard of a LAN
What's
party.
that?
A LAN party? That's what Halo was. It's
when
it's a
everybody
LAN party.
I used to get together and play some Halo back in the day.
That was technically a LAN party.
That's new
You
one
know a
on
LAN
me.
party, Tony.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
LAN is a network term. So,
But now it's all online, and it's just like even well here it even goes deeper than this. Like in my not so much in Don's day. In my day, you talk to your girlfriend, your buddies, whatever. You talk to them on the telephone.
yeah, then you went out and met each other.
Nowadays, they don't even talk on the telephone. they text, and then once in a great while they'll FaceTime message each other, Facebook call, whatever you call it.
So my son, he actually gets on Discord and they voice chat. They don't text a lot.
Well, and that takes away.
So that's similar to a phone, I guess.
Yeah.
That takes away the communication aspect of it. It takes away the communication aspect of it. They're just not. And listen, I'm not. Now listen, when I'm talking about this stuff, I'm talking very generalized. Not throwing off on nobody with no social anxiety, nothing like that. So don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say here. I just think as a society, we are trending away from like social interaction.
Absolutely. I mean, just the way it is.
We got a lady. I don't know if she's going to the.
I don't know what's going
to
on.
the back door.
Somebody wandering around outside,
Be lost.
looking for the Licking River.
Well, she went around the side of the building.
She
That
looked
door's
in the
locked.
window and went that way.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, getting back on task, guys. We got it all going on down here. We just try to go with the
Got it
flow.
all.
This is live impromptu.
And listen,
It's live on YouTube, Facebook.
the main
and
thing.
Oh, she's letting her doggy use the restroom.
Oh yeah, there you go.
See out the window there.
The main thing is the food here, man. I mean, at the Farmhouse Diner, it's unbelievable. Good.
Let's see. Let's check on our poll.
So here's a question for you before
check
you
on
check
our
on the poll. Me and my wife were having a conversation the other day. If this trends the way it's trending, and it keeps trending farther the way it's trending, will humankind become extinct? Because we all know what it takes to make babies. So if you're never having that interaction, and if everything is technical.
Courtney Montgomery says you lose the emotional connection with technology. Now that kind of touches on what you're talking about.
Well, Courtney, she says it more eloquently than I do, but will humankind become extinct? If your only form of communication is from a distance, then you ain't gonna make no babies.
Well, I think it'll just maybe like you deliver it from Walmart and inject it,
I'll never forget what it reminds me of. Years ago, I watched a movie.
Why not? I mean,
and it was
who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy, there, baby? Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock, but it was years ago. I can't remember something, man. But anyway, he was frozen in the 1990s, and then they thawed him out in like 2025 or whatever it may be. And their love making was virtual with a headset on this movie, and I never forgot. I'm serious.
Okay.
I never forgot that.
Well, that's
there's a new show on Amazon called Upload, and they have that, which it's way more. It's way different than that.
I probably wouldn't get it.
Well, apparently they upload you to heaven, like if somebody dies, and then they can. Well, I don't know what's going on, but okay. But anyways, it's called Upload, and so when somebody dies, they can upload them to a virtual environment, and then
whatever they like,
like they clone them, like basically in a virtual environment. You can still talk to them like real people can talk to them on the phone.
Like that's their heaven.
Yeah,
that's their.
They call it getting uploaded to heaven on Upload. It's interesting. Then you guys mentioned the virtual headset. It's like a virtual suit, and they can, virtual with their dead person.
Where's their dead body at? It don't matter.
It interacts like the computer interacts. How they It's an interesting show.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon, so there you go. Check it out, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon, Tony.
Amazon prime.
Well, how do you like your delivery, by the way?
Well, it's about like any other job, Don. I do my best at it, the best I can, and I, you know me.
You have to get us some hats.
Me and John's always had this conversation. As long as I'm getting paid, I don't care if I'm shoveling crap or what I'm doing. You know, I'm about to pay. You know,
well, there's better gigs than others.
Well, yeah. Well, let's say if you're at a gig and you're making good pay, does it matter what you're doing at that gig?
Yes.
To you, in your mind, it does.
Yes.
See, not mine. I couldn't.
There's easier job
Well, yeah, I mean,
than others.
But like, I don't know.
What
it's all
was
right.
just a less demeaning job?
I know what you're getting at.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to explain. That never bothered me. You know, like peer pressure, like what's he doing that menial task, you know?
Yeah, like a
As long as I'm making money.
Like if you're getting paid to, I don't know.
Yeah, something below
Say
your...
you work on air conditioners, and then all of a sudden your job wants you to sweep the floors.
That would not bother me.
Okay.
And you're getting paid the same.
It would not bother me.
Why would you
that
care?
way.
That's my point.
Well, a lot of people feel like that's beneath them.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
See, I don't associate the job as much as I do the pay is where I'm at on it. The pay's what matters, not what you're doing, right?
Well, I was referring to like a desk job and digging a ditch.
Well, I mean, I would
say you have a desk job, and then they tell you to go fix the toilets.
Well, if I could, I mean, I'm talking about physical labor here.
Yeah.
I'm talking about hard work versus not so hard work.
So you're not talking about demeaning. Like
No.
if they say, Don, I'm going to pay you $30 an hour. If you don't care, go out there and wipe them toilets down with Clorox.
No, I wouldn't care to do that. I mean, I'd rather not, but that wouldn't be beneath me.
See, I'm from the mentality, as long as the pay's right, I'll do whatever they want me to.
Yeah. I'm with you.
That's my mentality. Now I do understand what you're saying.
I wouldn't want to do it forever.
Well, in a sense that I'm not going to get down on all fours and scrub baseboards for 50 cents an hour. I ain't going to do it. I get that part of it. But if I'm in a job and I'm making $40 an hour and they tell me to scrub the baseboards, perfect. That's my thoughts on it. Where you at on it?
I'm glad we
I'm kind of with you. Yeah.
Glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
Because I don't think no job is beneath anybody.
A lot of people though do. They, you know.
And I've done a little bit of everything in my life. And I mean, now I got a weak stomach. I can't change diapers. That sort of stuff.
They say that Google and like big companies like Microsoft and Google, they have a problem because everybody wants to work there, and then they get a job. Say this guy's got like more credentials, and then he gets a help desk job. You know, he has credentials at the wazoo, and then you have this genius basically working the help desk job.
Bothersome to them.
Yeah.
Most people it does.
Yeah,
but is it
because everybody that applies to Google's basically overqualified for every position.
Well, is the pay the same?
I'm sure that they're probably qualified for a better position somewhere else.
But is the pay, like I'm saying, the person working the desk job or the person taking out the garbage, is the pay the same?
I don't think so. Probably not a good.
Well, that's probably the problem, because I don't think it would be an issue if the pay was the same. In my mind, it wouldn't be.
It would be with some people.
Yeah, it would be for some people.
It would?
Most people. I really.
Because in my mind, I'd a lot rather keep their garbage clean and tidy than sit at a desk all day.
Yeah.
The best two things at a job you'll ever learn is I just work here, and
That ain't my job.
and that's not my job. And just act like you know what you're
John
doing,
rolls out some good words.
and go on.
Good words. All right. Let's see. Let's.
Guys, we appreciate you tuning in, sharing it out. We've had a lot of viewers tonight, and you know they come and go on here, but we appreciate you, everyone. Stay with us, stay tuned in. We try to keep it, like I said, lighthearted and funny, and we try to. I think as a society, all of us, and when I say all of us, I mean us. And I'm not familiar with the entire country, but I'm familiar with the people here. We are trying to navigate through all this new stuff together, and most of us are not concepting what's really going on. I know I ain't.
Let me know when you do.
Yeah, so I think we're all trying to navigate these new fields together, and then I think, you know, like in my dad's day, Don's day, what were the old World War II era people, the greatest generation, saying about the hippies? Was it the same? You know that.
Well, yeah, I think people always talk about the young people. You know, the old people always talk about the young people.
We're trying to navigate through it together, I think.
It's hard being a spiritual being in a human body and world.
Anytime.
Well, that's deep, ain't it?
Yeah, that's
You
deep.
just went deep, Don.
I'll tell you what,
Come
where'd that
back
come
up.
from? Where'd that come from, boy? I had a revelation.
Anytime you. Anytime you have flesh and blood, you have sin.
Oh, we're getting deep now.
We're getting deep.
So anytime you have sin
Tell it.
on flesh and blood, you have issues. That's my thoughts on it.
Good and evil always battling.
What's the old saying? There's two wolves inside of you. One's a good one and one's a bad one. And whichever one wins is the one you feed the most.
That's what it says.
Huh.
Let's go with the word fair and middling, because I've never heard
Fair
that.
to middling. Fair to
Never
middling.
heard that
I say, Don, how you doing today? Tony, I'm fair to middling, son. That's pretty commonly used. You've never heard that?
I've never heard that till today.
Oh, Lord, I say it all the time.
Fair to middling.
It means
Yeah.
you okay, but you ain't real good.
Yeah, you're all right. You're
Kind
making
of
it.
middle of the road.
Yeah, you're making it, but it could be better.
Yeah.
That's every day, though, isn't it?
Well, for most of us.
Fair to middling.
Fair to middling.
Fair to middling. And that's another thing that I'm guilty of, and I know we all are, that you brought that up. Seem like, and rather than look at our blessings, we as the human nature of us is to gripe about our downfalls rather than to look at our blessings. I think
Well, you're right, Tony. I've tried in the last few years, and I've really tried not to do that. Count my blessings, and be thankful for what I got. I used to be a rain on my parade person, but I've got better with that.
And you have to, because listen, I don't care where you are, what you're doing, or who you are. You can find the negativity in the day. You got to remain positive and focus on the positive.
And I've tried to be around people that's positive, not bring me down, not bring my good feeling down.
They say you got to start off the day on a positive note, and the rest of the day smooth sailing.
I have a tendency. I can get pretty negative.
I can too.
I can get pretty negative. I have
If
that.
I wanted to, I could. I'll let myself, but I fight it.
What else we got, Big John?
Let's see. We got hoot and a holler. I don't think we've ever used that one.
A hoot and a holler?
Yeah.
I think it means like a small distance, like a narrow, like few. They say, well, how far down the road is it? A hoot and a holler. I think that's what it means.
Well, it can mean that too.
Yeah.
A hoot and a holler is like you feel good, and you hoot.
Yeah.
You hoot, like maybe take a drink of moonshine, then you holler and a swaller, kind of like that,
What's it mean?
Swaller and a holler. Hoot and a holler.
Hoot and a holler.
Hoot and a holler.
What else we got?
Clabber?
Oh, yeah, that's if, we've all done it as hillbillies. You go in there and, you drink out of the jug of the milk. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I know Donnie.
I have to smell it. I always smell the milk
Unless
before I
you
drink
take a
it.
big drink
Yeah, you
of
learned
that.
your lesson, though, once, didn't you?
You take a big drink of that milk and it's clabbered.
And it just hits your lips.
Yeah, it just hits your lips and it's clumped up and clabbered.
Yeah, I think everybody's done that once. Especially when you're young. You go out and you get the milk or the milk carton or whatever.
Then your mom comes in and catch you. Don't drink out of the jug.
Then you just turn it over and it's just like, just solid. You're like, oh!
It's hard to get by, Ain't nothing can get out of that taste out of your mouth. I like to grab a cat sometimes.
You're
but I'm
always
not gonna
looking
do it.
You're always looking over.
I've even eaten said shindig. Tony,
Yeah.
tell me what shindig
Oh,
is.
shindig's a big time. A party, a dance, something like that.
Yeah, we was going
Yeah, big get together.
Big get together, yeah. Shindig, yeah.
the clever minute. I guarantee everybody when we tell that story remembers the first time
Oh,
they
it
ever
sucks
done it.
my jaws
Here's the thing
together.
about it: when you're doing it, you're always looking over your shoulder to make sure your mama ain't gonna walk. Quit drinking out of the jug, when you're trying to steal you a big drink.
Ooh, and that clever. Oof.
That's a good one I see on there, John, that I use a lot. Is tuckered out. I go home with the evening. I say, Lord, I'm plumb tuckered out.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that
Or
one.
I'm give out. That's the same.
Give
I'm
out.
give out or tuckered out.
And plum tuckered is the level above tucker.
Yo, yeah. When you say plum, like if you're talking about somebody that's pitiful and you call them plum pitiful,
Yeah,
they're done.
they're a different level
They're
pitiful.
in bad shape.
Watch my jigger.
That's
Watch my jigger.
Watch my jigger. Now, who knows what that is?
watch-a-ma-jigger. A
What? Oh,
watch-a-ma-jigger.
okay. Oh, what you?
Yeah, that's a watch-a-ma-jigger. That's
Watch-a-ma-jigger
that's
is
you're trying to describe
anything that you can't describe to somebody, or you see something that
You don't know the
you
name
don't
of
know what it is. That's just a watch-a-ma-jigger.
Yeah.
You know what that is.
Yeah,
Watch-a-ma-jigger.
Yeah. You know that watch-a-ma-jigger right there? Yeah.
Let's see.
That's a good one. You passed up rant. Let's talk about the milk. That's
Yeah,
the same
rant.
as clabbered.
Or a person can be rant.
Yeah, a person be rant. too.
I like this one, mosey. Like mosey along.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I do a lot of that.
Mosey along, you mosey along.
Yeah, I do
Yeah, you
anymore.
take it easy. Don is a mosey
He
along.
is, he is a mosey along.
I'm laid back.
He's mosey.
Yeah.
Don Mosey Wolf.
I don't try not to get in a hurry, and my body's got me to where I don't have to excuse it anymore. It's just my body. I can't move. My feet's killing me.
Used to be an old fella that we all knew around here named Alfred Rudd. I know Don remembers him, and his favorite saying was, "Don't rush into anything."
Yeah. He drove truck.
Yeah, he's a trucker.
I used to know his handle, but I can't think of it.
Yeah, don't rush into nothing.
His handle, that was his trucker name, My handle is.
Yeah.
Give us one more, John.
One
Then
more.
we'll get to the eat.
I like fetch. You like fetch?
Fetch.
Fetch ain't really an Appalachian word though, is it? Kinda.
Over yonder, somebody says. I can't see.
Over yonder,
Over
yeah.
yonder.
Or over yanner.
Over yonder stands little Maggie.
Gully washer. Since we had the
Yeah.
that's a good one for this week.
A biddy drowner. Did anybody know what a
We
biddy
had a bad
drowner
gully
is?
washer.
Oh yeah, well, actually, good story on that. Amanda had her some biddies, and we had them in a brooder, and it come a big rain. This was last year, I think. She said, "Lord, it's come a biddy drowner," and we got home, and
biddy
it drowned her biddies.
A chicken can drown in a rainstorm.
Yeah,
Did you know that,
really?
John? Yeah. It's where their nostrils up here. That's why they get under the hen, the mother hen. They can drown, a biddy drowner. That's what, if it's a real hard downpour, that's why it's called that.
I've never heard biddy drowner.
Jordan Howard, Leprechaun was Alfred's CB handle.
Leprechaun.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Leprechaun.
Thanks, Jordan.
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun. Yeah.
That's a good question to bring up. Are leprechauns real?
Well,
Have you ever found the end of the rainbow?
the pot of gold.
No, I never did look for the end of a rainbow.
You never did look for the end of the
Are
rainbow?
are those leprechauns on the strap cookies? Keebler.
Keebler
Are those
Oh,
lep-
those
No, it's
elves.
elf. Okay.
That's a elf.
What's
yeah.
the difference?
Well, it's about like clabbered milk versus soured milk. I don't. Is there a difference in an elf and a
Well,
leprechaun?
I think a leprechaun's kind of evil, ain't they?
A leprechaun's supposed to have gold.
Well, I mean, ain't they evil like though?
Yeah, well, they can.
They had a
yeah.
movie that was called Leprechaun.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't
was
take
supposed-
$1 million and watch that. I watched Darby O'Gill and the Little People though. You know that one?
What was that again?
Darby O'Gill and the Little People. See, the leprechaun was actually native to Ireland. That's where it all started with the leprechauns, and it's about this old fella, and he's all the time chasing leprechauns,
Leprechaun chaser.
That'd be a good line of work. What does that pay?
What's it pay?
Well, let me ask you this:
Have they got a union?
Would you need to be paid the same to chase the leprechaun as you would to say to put it in the truck when they caught it?
Well, if they're rough, after you catch them,
I'd say-
it'd be like catching a bear. There's a lot of
say-
difference, and
I'd
chasing a bear and getting hold of one.
I'd say they
I'd want more money to try to get a bear, and
I'd say they kick like a mare mule if I was guessing.
A leprechaun?
a leprechaun.
Yeah.
Oh.
Christopher Cody is watching.
Oh.
Oh, we got
That's
the Kodo
big.
on tonight.
Big.
Shout out. Kodo, what do you think? Should if you're getting the same pay in a job, should you get to pick what job you do? That's a good question. That's what we're talking about.
If you had everybody in a blender and they was all or not a blender, but like a vacuum.
Say
Everybody was in a vacuum.
if you work for this company in the leprechaun business, should you get the same pay for chasing a leprechaun than, let's say, putting the leprechaun in a sack and loading it in the truck?
That's one's harder.
Well, I don't know how mean the leprechaun is. That's
There
what
you
we're-
go.
But would it matter?
Well, if you're getting the same pay, because to me, them little leprechauns are quick.
If somebody's better at catching the leprechaun,
Or do they?
Well,
do
let's
they?
say, what about if I'm hard in to catch leprechauns?
Yeah, but do they bite?
Wait a minute, though. I'm hard in to catch leprechauns. You're hard in to load leprechauns. But you're a lot quicker than me, and I ain't catching no leprechauns. But I'm stout enough to load them, and you can run them down. Should then we get the same pay for doing the same job?
No, you just should switch jobs.
But pay-wise, I'm saying.
If I was a boss, I'd just switch you guys around.
Switch it around, and then pay us the same?
Well, I don't know. Like
Well,
I say,
wait a
it's
minute,
going
though.
how much paperwork you
Well,
got.
here's the thing.
If you went to school to be a leprechaun, you got your paperwork.
Oh,
You probably
so it
you
was
probably get more
paperwork.
money.
So it's paperwork.
You
Yeah.
got to have
Wait a
your
minute, though.
paperwork.
Here's the problem. What if I went to school to be a leprechaun loader, and you went to school to be a leprechaun catcher, and I can't load them and you can't catch them?
Well, you'd have to switch around. That's what I'd do
But
if
it
I was
wouldn't
over.
matter about the paperwork at that point,
So
right?
I do have a real life experience with this.
Oh,
Catching
okay.
leprechauns?
No, not catching leprechauns.
Wow, John, I was getting ready to hear something really good there.
Oh, yeah, here comes the groceries.
Wow.
No, I went and worked for
Don
Walmart.
can't have it without butter.
I don't know.
I went and
have
worked at
butter.
Walmart and
a
I
fork.
applied.
Biscuit, give you a biscuit.
Go ahead, John.
And
I went and
here.
applied for the only place
Hot.
in Mount Sterling that was hiring was the automotive. Now I don't know anything about automotive, Don, hardly.
I understand.
You know, I know a little bit, but not anything considered.
How about this one?
But you know, it's stocking boxes or
Please tell
something.
me you
Yeah.
didn't just do that.
Well, I don't hurt nothing.
Here.
I like to have a fork.
So we are having sorghum and biscuits. That is our cuisine for tonight.
And all you need, they see, I use the sopping part of the bread, whether it's cornbread or a biscuit,
Good word.
because I like to sop it.
Sop
You
is
know.
a good word.
And what happened? God, you got enough butter here to feed the creek.
Put butter
Wait a
in you,
minute.
son.
Hold on.
One of the four.
I need a fork.
I don't care. It don't matter, man.
You got to know how to
Anyway,
eat.
I went to work at Walmart, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, we need somebody for the electronics department." I was like, "Okay." Like I literally go to school for electronics and computers. Like, can you put me in the electronic department? They're like, "Oh, sorry, honey. We where you applied for automotive, we have to put you in the automotive department."
Are
Yeah.
you shitting me?
No, I swear.
See, here's how you do it. You get your butter, and you mix it all up, and that's too thin.
I didn't
probably.
cuss.
That hot. You see, you got to get a consistency going here.
I don't remember if you
Got to
did.
be the right texture. You guys just going at it. You don't really know what
You
you're
don't.
doing.
Now, Don, listen.
See, you don't know what you're doing. Here's a perfect example. I'm an experienced sorghum and butter and bread eater, and you're not.
You got papers.
No, I ain't got no papers. I got experience. Now how's that, Tony? Experience versus paperwork. If you was hiring somebody, you'd rather have the paperwork or experience.
If I'm hiring somebody, let's say for this restaurant, and I've got let's say a line cook that worked at Waffle House for 10 years, or a certified, bona fide paperwork chef,
Just graduated.
I'm hiring the line chef, the line cook that worked for 10
I
years.
think you're right. What I do.
I'm gonna drink an RC with it.
Hey, Lord, what am I going to
We'll get the
Do
peach
you want
stuff.
you want the RC?
Get the peach stuff.
You want the peach stuff?
I got coffee.
Coffee?
Get me the grape. I don't like peach pop.
You want the RC?
No, you'd rather have the grape?
I don't care.
Now listen, folks,
either.
I don't care what they say. The sorghum is not as good as molasses.
And if you want some sorghum, guys, you can find it at Creekside, Stitched, and more.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know where you can get molasses at, but I'm sure they got them somewhere.
There's something about a grape knee-high that I don't know. It's just, that's almost just like a Coke or Pepsi similar.
Okay, paper towels, this joint.
So, the question becomes the certified bona fide chef versus the 10-year experienced line cook. Amanda, who you hiring?
Waffle House all of me.
Ah, so that comes into play. Does the college degree, is it important?
Well, I think it is.
In certain fields, I would think so.
I think experience trumps college degree, though, right?
I would think so.
No.
I think so.
No, don't? Experience don't trump college degree?
Oh, yeah, I misunderstood.
Yeah. I would think so. I mean,
Finger licking good.
oh, it's good. Yeah, this right here is your top shelf stuff, guys. Them biscuits are real buttery.
Biscuits are legit.
Cold milk, Charlie, baby, you're right.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Ain't Shirley. Hey, Ain't Shirley. That's good eating. We eat something here every week. We try to keep it as
Hillbilly.
hillbilly as we can. Now, some weeks are better than others. We had sardines one night, and that about took me.
Pretty good with biscuits, you know.
Now this is what you call good appalachian eating.
And usually sorghum has a more green looking than it is. Has a green tint to it.
Good
They
stuff.
asked if y'all knew the difference between salt.
Yeah, we've already went over that, too. 2 a day late and a dollar short. I mean, we went in depth into it.
Bob said sounds like you're eating G-Pod. What's that? What's G-Pod? I'm missing out something here.
Good. It's a top one.
Eating
Good. Oh, yeah, we're eating real good, Uncle Bob. It's good stuff.
Bush Howard had a sorghum meal. Did he really? That's cool.
Me too, Cody.
I'm a
I
butter
love,
and honey kind of guy. Oh yeah,
I love butter and honey melded together and over a biscuit.
What's
But this
in
is
the pink
good, too.
bottle?
that's good. What is it?
What's
Cody
that?
said
That's
that
peach.
Okay, I'll try it.
Barb's favorite pop was peach pop.
I'm
Absolutely.
gonna try
was.
one right now.
That's why Claire loves it.
It was
Knee high peach. I can remember drinking. My first drink was knee high or RC.
It was
Yeah,
originally
Johnny back store on Fur Middle Fort.
Pepsi. She loved Pepsi.
I love knee high grape and,
And then
orange.
she quit caffeine and went to peach pop.
The orange knee high was good, and the grape.
That was good.
And then RC always worked like a laxative for me. So that was
Something else you don't makes me think about. On Craft Creek, maybe you guys got a different memory. Coca-Cola, I never remember much. If you did get a pop, it was a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Pepsi.
Anybody, what's the deal on that, Don?
What?
There wasn't no Coca-Cola around that I remember.
Well, it was more expensive. Like RC was cheaper, and knee high, and that's what these
Well, even the
country
big debate,
stores.
even the big debate, but Pepsi and Coke. We always, if we got a pop, it was a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew. I don't ever remember seeing Coke or Mellow Yellow when I was a kid.
No.
Well, my Coke was big when that's how it all got started at the restaurants. It's always a Coke, no matter if it's a Pepsi or what. It's give me a Coke.
A lot of restaurants would only carry like Pepsi.
Yeah.
Like what? McDonald's is Pepsi. No, it's Coke. Oh, my bad. McDonald's is what? Coke. What's Taco Bell? It's Pepsi and Mountain Dew.
We was talking about him of Avian. We was talking about Kenny Montgomery. That's the first time I ever seen sorghum made when I was a little boy. It was over at Kenny Montgomery's place. Pretty cool. That's good stuff. Did you already work on that biscuit, son?
Son, I devoured that.
You want another one?
Oh. Maybe after the show.
Did
Don and Glenna one. Don try that. Biscuit
Tony?
And
Did you know Kenny was Avian's grandpa?
no. So Avian's half Montgomery?
Well, ever how you want to put it, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. No. I think I knew the.
Her mother was named Alice Montgomery.
Oh, Alice was her mother? Mm-hmm. Well, I remember Alice, and she was a sister of Lila Gibbs, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
My cousin. Avian is.
Would you suggest sorghum in today's world, like a diet? Would you make it a regular thing?
Huh?
You think eating sorghum a lot's good for you?
Yeah. I would think sorghum, honey, molasses, any of that would be better than granulated sugar, wouldn't you?
Honey is something that's really good for you.
Yeah, honey's supposed to be really good for you.
As long as you don't,
Allergies and everything.
listen, as long as you don't tip it with a metal spoon or fork. If you do, it takes all the antitoxins out of it. Wood or plastic for honey. Always
What
remember
now?
that.
I didn't know that.
That's true.
Well, now listen, though.
You can learn a lot from a dummy.
I didn't know.
If you can grow up a drinking Craft Creek water, a fork ain't gonna kill you.
No, if you dip a metal object in honey, it destroys all the beneficial benefits of honey.
I would say sorghum's healthier for you than some.
Ain't you ever seen the little wooden thing on the Honey Nut Cheerios box?
Oh yeah.
That's why it is.
I'd say it's more healthier for you than some of the processed crap I eat.
Honey can sustain a human being like all day, just 1 tablespoon or something. Amazing stuff.
Hold
It
on.
lasts
I would
forever.
be willing to bet that's much better than most of our current food supply. I've been watching a congressional hearing today about this exact subject.
Hold on. What would happen to the price of sugar in the grocery store if everybody in McGoffin County used molasses and sorghum for 2 weeks?
Or honey.
Or honey.
Can you make RC Cola with sorghum?
Oh yeah, you can make anything. You
Probably got molasses in it. A lot of this stuff's got molasses in it. To drink.
Carbonated water, sugar, caramel color, prussic acid, caffeine, natural flavors, or acidic gum. Produced under the authority of Dr. Pepper 7-Up Inc.
that wouldn't affect the price of sugar?
2 weeks. Absolutely nothing. 2 weeks.
So, a month. If everybody in McGoffin County used sorghum, honey, or molasses for a month, and the grocery store set stocked up on sugar, nobody buying it, that wouldn't affect the price of it? I'm just curious what you think.
We're just curious.
What do you think, Don?
What do you think about the dock shutdown in big trucks? A year, maybe.
A year, maybe?
Well, I mean, you probably use more sugar than, the average person. So what do you think?
I think it would. I think 2 months of everybody in McGoffin County, which is roughly 12,000 people, would absolutely astronomically affect the price in McGoffin County. If you did it worldwide, I say nationwide, your sugar market would drop. The bottom would drop out of it.
Are we against the sugar market now? Or
No. We're just using a hypothetical.
They might all think we're making moonshine, Jordan said. No, it would take more than McGoffin to, he said.
I think if the whole country did it for 2 weeks, the sugar market drop out. That's my opinion. What do you think, Don?
Well, it'd hurt them.
Huh? They'd have to do what?
Well, they'd have to adapt.
Well, how would they adapt?
Move it.
What's that?
How would they adapt, you think?
What'd she say?
Lower the price and move it.
Well, yeah, you'd lower the price first thing, and then it's all supply and demand deal. Capitalism,
Capitalism's about supply and demand?
Well, you know how it is. If you got it and I want it,
How much you take for it?
Yeah. It's how much you got of it. I'll take it all.
I'll tell you what. I think that there is, like everybody, like my neighbor Stanley, for instance, he grows his own honey. Well, out of his little beehive that he's got, he produces what?
60 quarts, something like that.
60 quarts of honey a year. That would replace the sugar for his family. All right.
Probably longer than that.
Quarts at last time.
That would replace the sugar for his family. So I think if everybody in the country, if you want to get these, this is my opinion, if you want to get these grocery prices down, if everybody in the country that was able to, because I know some folks in the city had a beehive.
Is this something that we can protest? We support the bees.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be good.
Yeah. Point being, I think the consumer.
What is the point?
The point here is the consumer is as guilty as the corporation in the price problem. Because, of course, if you're a corporation, as long as somebody's willing to pay the price you ask them, what in the crap you going to lower it for?
I understand. I agree with you on that somewhat.
Oh, shoot.
I mean,
Certain items require granulated sugar to make. Cola.
Well, you can. Honey will go back to sugar.
Well, I think
if
that
you let it.
the argument to that would be that what is the whole point of what we're doing tonight? We're talking about molasses, and we're talking about sorghum. Now, what was the purpose of molasses and sorghum for the ancestors, Don? To replace
I was
what?
reading this. What's that now?
What did our ancestors use molasses and sorghum to replace?
Well, I'm not sure.
Sugar?
Sugar, I guess, and there's a sugar shortage, all the time.
Yeah.
During World War II, you had to have a ration card,
Pretty basic.
Somebody said here you can lease a spot. I can't read that hardly. Can't see. We're there.
You can lease a spot on your land for honey hives.
Okay, that's what you neighbors do, and they get paid from the government. By the way,
People might have to trade honey for sugar.
You didn't know
sugar
that,
for
did
coffee
you?
Beans like the old days, bacon for milk. People would be in war today. Killing would be done. If they closed the stores, young people wouldn't live. 7 out of 10 people don't even have canned food anymore, Jordan.
I can agree with Jordo on that, but is that a problem?
not until you run out.
then it becomes a supply and demand issue.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to shoot you for your cow type deal.
Yeah, a can of corn.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. We're going to try to come back in a couple weeks.
Appreciate y'all.
Glad that you tuned in. We've enjoyed having you. You guys got any ideas or comments? We got way up there once on our views, so we'll keep it rolling. Any ideas or comments? Holler at us.
Appreciate
Let's
y'all.
go in the Appalachian Connection group.
I forgot to say this. If you fellas like me or ladies are having any technical issues with your devices, holler at Bigjohn. He'll fix you up. That's what he does.
There you go.
Tech holler.
All of our out-of-state viewers, so we have a new shipment of shirts.
Oh, yeah. If anybody's wanting a farmhouse t-shirt or hat, we have all kinds of them here for sale. You can get them online, and John will ship them out to you. He's the ship king. We got 1 million boxes. Whatever we can do to help you, let us know.
And come and listen to live music and listen to food. Food is great.
Live music on Friday nights. And once again, before we sign off, for those of you that do pray, let's pray for our fellow citizens down in North Carolina, because God knows they're having it hard.
Tennessee, Georgia, yeah.
I think in all of the South that was affected by the hurricane, but I saw some pictures of Asheville, North Carolina, and Lord have mercy, it's total devastation.
God bless y'all.
They're
And
taking
peace.
supplies.
Oh, they are gathering supplies to send to North Carolina. I think there's a couple local churches doing it.
If you have any donations, drop them off at Sayersville Fire Department.
You drop them off at Sayersville Fire Department. They're looking for cleaning supplies, canned food, that sort of stuff, to get them until hygiene products, to get them until FEMA can come in and do their thing. But Sayersville Fire Department is taking up all kinds of donations. So if you want to donate, I know me and Amanda have sent some stuff down. We're going to send some more stuff. When we had our floods up here in eastern Kentucky, they tell me there were several groups from North Carolina that sent a ton of stuff up here. So if you want to drop off anything or donate to Sayersville Fire Department, drop off any kind of canned goods, cleaning supplies.
Can openers.
They're asking for can openers for canned goods, anything, diapers, formula stuff for babies, anything you feel the need to help them out with, they'd sure be glad to have it. And peace.
God bless you.
y'all. We're out of here.
See you guys.